It's been 7 years since the Marikana massacre. What does 7 years actually mean? Well, children born in August 2012 are now at school. The 13-year-old child from that era is now an adult who can actually vote. And yet, in some ways, time is standing still in Marikana, with many families still waiting for justice. Govan Whittles has the latest from this year's commemoration at the site of the massacre. He joins us now live. So, Govan, AMCU President Joseph Mathunja addressing people for the past couple of hours, some would say, because we know he goes on for a long time, but rightfully so. What is he saying?
Yeah, Shahan, he's been speaking for about 2 hours right now, and he's still at the podium, still busy giving that address. I'll just try to cover some of his main topics. He started by saying that the justice for the mine workers who were slain in Marikana during that unprotected strike that lasted for 6 weeks in 2012, and the massacre that followed it has still not been achieved, saying that it seems as if the government has forgotten about the mine workers, but going a bit further, saying that he believes that there's no leadership in South Africa. Then Joseph Mathunja turning to some of the more contentious issues which his union faces, including, of course, the platinum wage negotiations that are currently underway with Sibanye, saying that if Sibanye does indeed offer AMCU 300 Rand, as was the case at the Sibanye gold operations, that would be like spitting on the graves of the people who died during the massacre. And then something unexpected from Joseph Mathunja, Shahan. He's saying that he's learnt of a plot to arrest him, saying that some government officials, and he hasn't mentioned any names, are trying to concoct charges against him. And Joseph Mathunja, the president of AMCU, threatening that if he were to be arrested on any false charges or concocted evidence, that there would be no mines in South Africa that would be operational. In fact, threatening to use AMCU as a union to fight those political battles. But his speech has been laden with biblical references, spoken about a country which is untransformed, and has tried to cast AMCU as the last hope for mine workers in the country. Of course, this has been well received from most of the people that are here today. Most of these people are AMCU members, but what's clear is that the people who were here at the previous commemoration seem to have fallen out with AMCU, the senior leadership of the EFF, the senior leadership of the UDM, and a number of civil rights organizations which were known to consistently support AMCU. This year, they're missing in action. And what we see here is AMCU on the defensive. And the union, which is not only trying to fight platinum wage negotiations, but also trying to fight deregistration.
So, union politics aside, Govan, let's talk about people on the ground and how they actually feel 7 years later.
Shahan, I didn't manage to get your question, unfortunately, the line dropping again, but I'm going to try to speak to some of the AMCU members that are here, particularly those that are mine workers at the Lonman, now Sibanye Gold Shaft. I believe that you are a member of AMCU, sir, and that you are a mine worker as well. Just tell me, first of all, when you think back to 2012, the massacre that happened, what do you think 7 years later about the way that the government has handled things?
Our government, they don't handle anything the way we want it to be handled. It seems as if we are going back. Every time, step back. Every time we negotiations, we go step back. We don't know where we are going.
And Joseph Mathunja, the president of AMCU, says the union is under attack because of these threats to deregister it and these platinum wage negotiations. But the mining industry itself is a very violent industry during the strike period. What do you think about the state of AMCU right now, and do you agree that as a union you are under attack?
Yeah, I will say the union itself is under attack, particularly if you check the investors itself. They are the ones from the government. So you go nowhere, you are fighting the mine, you are fighting the government. So it's going to be difficult.
Are you prepared for another strike in the platinum sector?
I'm coming from gold sector. We were not prepared, but we managed. So what I'm saying is that they will manage. They will manage.
Thank you so much. That's one of the members of UMCU here, just outside the commemoration. And Joseph Matunja is still at the podium, Shahan, but he is expected to wrap up shortly.
All right, thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. Govan Whittles is in Marikana.